10 things you didn't know about the United States of America. America, the land of liberty, the dream destination for millions, a place known for its diverse landscapes, global influence, and some of the biggest cultural icons the world has ever seen. But for all the things you think you know about the United States, from its love for fast food and football to its star-spangled flag, there's a whole other side to this country that doesn't make it into textbooks or travel guides. What if I told you there's a town with only one resident who's also the mayor, bartender, and librarian? Or that the U.S. once drafted a military plan to invade Canada? That English isn't even the official language of the country? Yep, it gets weirder from here. Today, we're diving deep into 10 incredible, surprising, and downright bizarre facts about the United States of America. Whether you're a lifelong American or just curious about the quirks of this global superpower, you're in for some serious surprises. So sit back, grab a coffee or a slice of deep dish pizza, and let's uncover 10 things you didn't know about the United States of America. 1. The United States has no official language. Most people take for granted that English is the official language of the United States. It's spoken everywhere, taught in schools, and used in government. Surprisingly, the United States does not have an official language at the federal level. Nowhere in the U.S. Constitution or federal law is English declared as the country's official language. Historically, the U.S. has always been a nation of immigrants. Today, English remains the de facto language. However, over 350 languages are spoken in the U.S., and some states have declared English as their official state language. 2. A secret plan to invade Canada. Did you know the United States once had a classified plan to invade Canada? Enter War Plan Red. In the 1920s and 30s, the U.S. military developed a series of color-coded war plans to prepare for hypothetical conflicts. War Plan Red was America's strategy for a possible war with the British Empire, and by extension, Canada. Both countries developed these plans secretly, and neither one was ever used. Once World War II began and the U.S. and UK became close allies, the plans were quietly shelved. Still, it's fascinating to think that less than a century ago, the world's longest undefended border was the subject of serious military strategy. 3. Monowi, Nebraska. Population 1. That's the real-life story of Monowi, Nebraska, a town that proudly holds the title of the smallest incorporated municipality in the United States, with a population of 1. Meet Elsie Eiler, the sole resident of Monowi. After her husband passed away, Elsie became the last person living in the town. But despite that, she still runs the local tavern, which serves passing truckers, bikers, and curious tourists. People from around the world visit just to meet Elsie and snap a photo of the famous sign that says, Monowi Pop, 1. 4. Alaska was bought for pennies. In 1867, the United States made what many thought was a laughable mistake, buying a giant frozen territory from Russia for $7.2 million. That territory? Alaska. At the time, critics called it Seward's Folly, named after Secretary of State William H. Seward, who negotiated the deal. People couldn't understand why the U.S. would want a vast, icy wilderness that seemed to offer nothing but snow and polar bears. But let's break down the numbers. $7.2 million may sound like a decent amount in 1867, but Alaska is 586,000 square miles. That works out to roughly 2 cents an acre. And what did the U.S. get for their bargain deal? As it turns out, quite a lot. Not long after the purchase, gold was discovered, followed by massive oil reserves, natural gas, and countless minerals. Today, Alaska is one of America's richest states in terms of natural resources. It also holds strategic military value, given its proximity to Russia and the Arctic. Beyond the economic and strategic benefits, Alaska also boasts some of the most stunning natural beauty in the country, from Denali National Park to the Northern Lights. So yes, what was once mocked as a waste of money became one of the smartest land acquisitions in American history. 5. California has more people than all of Canada. California is often seen as a land of beaches, tech startups, and Hollywood dreams. But here's a jaw-dropping stat. California has more people than the entire nation of Canada. As of recent estimates, California's population is just over 39 million people. Meanwhile, Canada, a country 25 times larger in land area, has a population of around 38 million. Let that sink in. California by itself would be the 5th largest economy in the world, ahead of countries like India and the United Kingdom. It's home to Silicon Valley, countless global companies, the world's entertainment capital, Los Angeles, and some of the most expensive real estate on Earth. Despite its dense population, California is geographically diverse. From the beaches of Malibu to the deserts of Death Valley, the vineyards of Napa Valley, and the towering redwoods of the north. Meanwhile, Canada, though much larger in size, has vast stretches of uninhabited wilderness, tundra, and remote provinces. Most Canadians live within 100 miles of the U.S. border, leaving large parts of the country sparsely populated. This surprising population stat shows the incredible density and economic power of certain parts of the U.S., especially states like California, Texas, and New York. 6. The U.S. has the most tornadoes in the world. Tornadoes, violent, rotating columns of air that can level entire towns in minutes. They're terrifying, fast, and uniquely American. In fact, the United States experiences more tornadoes than any other country in the world, averaging about 1,200 tornadoes per year. Why so many? It comes down to geography. The U.S. is home to a region known as Tornado Alley, a strip of land in the central part of the country, including Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska. Here, warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico clashes with cold, dry air from Canada and hot air from the southwest. These extreme temperature and pressure differences create the perfect conditions for tornadic supercells. Some of the deadliest and most powerful tornadoes ever recorded have occurred in the U.S., including the Tri-State Tornado of 1925, which traveled over 200 miles and killed nearly 700 people. Tornadoes can form in just minutes, and their unpredictable nature makes them particularly dangerous. That's why American communities in Tornado Alley have siren systems, storm shelters, and emergency drills. While tornadoes also occur in places like Canada, Bangladesh, and parts of Europe, nowhere experiences them at the frequency and intensity seen in the United States. So if you're chasing extreme weather, the U.S. is, without a doubt, the global hotspot for nature's most violent windstorms. 7. U.S. currency is full of cocaine? Studies show that about 90% of U.S. paper money contains traces of cocaine. Banknotes circulate so widely that tiny amounts of cocaine residue get transferred through handling. Drug users sometimes use rolled-up bills to snort cocaine. These bills then return to circulation and spread trace amounts of the drug. 8. Area 51 is real, and it's not all about aliens. Area 51 is a real, highly classified U.S. military facility in the Nevada desert. For decades, the government refused to acknowledge its existence. Area 51 has historically been used for testing top-secret aircraft and surveillance technology. The U-2 spy plane and SR-71 Blackbird were all developed and tested there during the Cold War. 9. Americans eat 3 billion pizzas a year. The United States consumes around 3 billion pizzas every year. Pizza is more than just food in the U.S. It's a cultural staple. What's the favorite topping in America? Pepperoni. The U.S. is also home to some truly unique pizza creations, from Chicago's deep dish monsters to New York's iconic foldable slices. There's even a National Pizza Month and pizza eating competitions. 10. The U.S. has more museums than McDonald's and Starbucks combined. The United States has more museums than it has McDonald's and Starbucks combined. The U.S. is also home to thousands of small, quirky, and ultra-niche museums. There's a National Mustard Museum in Wisconsin and a Museum of Bad Art in Massachusetts. This abundance of museums shows America's passion for collecting and preserving everything. Many U.S. museums are free to enter. From high art and history to kitsch and curiosity, the United States offers something for every type of visitor. So there you have it, 10 wild, weird, and wonderful things you probably didn't know about the United States of America. From a one-person town to secret war plans and cocaine-covered currency, the U.S. is full of surprises. The kind of facts that don't show up in your typical history class or travel blog. Which one shocked you the most? The UFO base that isn't about aliens? A state that could outrank countries in population? Or maybe the fact that your wallet might contain microscopic traces of drugs? Whatever it was, we hope this video opened your eyes to the strange layers of a country that's often misunderstood. A place that's as complex, diverse, and fascinating as the people who call it home. If you enjoyed this dive into the unexpected, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss future deep dives like this one. And hey, drop your favorite US fact in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you know that we didn't. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious.